On our fine country's 241st birthday from Lowell Park on this Tuesday afternoon between the Falmouth Commodores and the Cotuit Kettleers. Cotuit Kettleers baseball is live on the air, and this is the Cotuit Kettleers pregame show on the Cotuit Kettleers video network. My name is Matt Rigby. I'll be joined alongside my broadcast partner Will Greer momentarily in this Cotuit Kettleers pregame show, and then eventually I'll be joined alongside Will for first pitch tonight. It's the annual home and home, sandwiched around either the day before July 4th or the day after July 4th, that takes place across the Cape League. 5 teams find their 5 closest Cape League friends, and they get together for 2 straight, one in one park, one in the other. And tonight is the first of those 2, opening at Lowell Park. Dating back to 2010, the Commodores and the Kettleers have gotten together on either July 3rd and July 4th or July 4th and July 5th each season. And outside of a Falmouth sweep in 2013 and the Cotuit sweep in 2010, each team has won one of those games in every single season. So overall, dating back over the last 6 years, these teams have split right down the middle in these home and homes. It was a fun-filled day at Lowell Park here all day long, beginning about 9:30 this morning. We had a parade go up and down the streets of Cotuit. Some highlights from that parade throughout the broadcast, I am sure. Everyone affiliated with the organization got to participate in the parade. Then we came back to Lowell Park, had a fun day of face painting, had a fun day with some bouncy houses, a fun day with some hitting contests, and probably the most popular attraction, a fun day with a dunk tank. But all of that has concluded, and that means it is time for baseball here in an important matchup for the Kettleers between themselves and the team that sits in front of them, or one of the teams that sits in front of them in the Cape League's Western Division, the Falmouth Commodores, who lead Cotuit entering play tonight by just a slim 1-game margin. It's a very compact Cape League Western Division. Bourne and Falmouth tied atop the division with 11 and 8 records respectively. Cotuit at 10 and 9 thanks to their brief 2-game winning streak that they ran to 2 games last night with a 2-0 victory over Wareham. Those Gatemen are in 4th place at 8 and 11, and then Hyannis in 5th at 7, 11 and 1. So if you're Cotuit, the good news, thanks to the wins the last 2 days over both Hyannis and Wareham inside of their own division, is that the Kettleers are 2.5 games clear of the Harbor Hawks for the 5th spot in the Cape League's Western Division, and that means Cotuit right now would be safely in the playoffs by a 2.5 game spread. They are also 2 games ahead of the Gatemen, and if the Kettleers can string together their 3rd win in a row, which would give them a winning streak longer than 2 games for the first time since they won the first 4 of the season, and if Bourne loses tonight against Wareham, the Kettleers would find themselves in a 3-way tie atop the Cape League's Western Division. Now that I told you Bourne and Wareham are playing each other, I should give you the other 3 matchups that take place sandwiched around the 4th of July every year. Hyannis and YD get together in the only cross-division matchup, Brewster and Harwich, and Chatham and Orleans. It's a great day for baseball. It always has been one of America's pastimes on America's special day. It'll be a 4th of July themed broadcast throughout, both in what we say, I suppose, as well as in the music we play in between half innings. And I know I speak for Will in saying that we are happy to be bringing it to you on this Tuesday holiday afternoon. Let's run you through how Cotuit got to 10 and 9 with their aforementioned 2nd straight win last night. The Kettleers defeated Wareham 2-0 at Spillane Field. First trip of the year to Spillane Field for Cotuit. And the star of the show was undoubtedly Zane Collins. Zane Collins tossed a complete game shutout. He allowed just 6 hits. He struck out 8, and he walked only 1 batter. He threw 117 pitches, and every single time Will and I mused about Zane Collins' night being done on the mound, he came right back out and just continued to pick up outs. He said he had his breaking ball and his changeup working. That sinking fastball that is his patented weapon seemed to be working last night as well, as he picked up his 3rd victory of the season to tie him atop the Cape League's leaderboard in the wins category. Cotuit struggled a bit at the plate. That was overshadowed by Zane Collins' good night. The Kettleers went 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position last night. And while they did pick up 6 hits, they relied on 2 Wareham errors to score one of their runs, and then they relied on 2 wild pitches to score another. It's been a little bit of a rough 10 days or so at the plate for Cotuit. They continue to be a little bit undermanned tonight as well, but if they can get pitching like they've gotten from the combination of not just Zane Collins, but also the night before Justin Hooper and the night before that Jason Billis, then it's a different looking Kettleers team. Falmouth enters tonight the best offense in the entire Cape League in most statistical categories, so it will be quite the challenge for Cotuit tonight. A few nights ago at Arnie Allen Diamond at Gov Fuller Field, Jason Billis really did a good job shutting down the Commodores in that aforementioned start. Billis gave up only two earned runs in 5 1/3 innings a couple nights ago at Arnie Allen Diamond. Gave up just 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 hit batsmen. And then the train came off the rails in the latter innings for Cotuit as the bullpen faltered a bit down the stretch. But the key for the Kettleers tonight will be keeping the ball in the yard. Falmouth leads the entire Cape League with a whopping 22 home runs. The next closest team is actually Cotuit, and they have only 13. Falmouth tops in the league overall in slugging percentage and tops overall in the league in OPS at 791. They are clear of the next highest OPS in the Cape League by a full 41 points. Falmouth has pitched it okay at times. They have the 3rd most strikeouts in the league and the 4th best batting average against, but they walk far too many batters, the 2nd most walks, and that leads to the 2nd highest ERA at 4.59. Cotuit, on the other hand, has the 3rd highest ERA at 4.39, but as I already mentioned, the Kettleers have pitched really well over the last week or so of the season, and they've seen that ERA continue to come down. In fact, the batting average against for Cotuit, which since about the 3rd night of the season has been worst in the league overall, is no longer worst in the league. Bourne now has a 282 batting average against. Cotuit's just 281. So pitchers, thanks in large part to Zane Collins last night, are continuing to get more outs than they were previously in the season. And now Cotuit will turn to Seth Schumann tonight to look to keep that starting pitching train rolling. Schumann, the Georgia Southern righty, against Robbie Pito, the North Carolina righty, tonight for Falmouth. Robbie Pito's been hit around a bit this year. Seth Schumann hasn't made a start since last Sunday when he pitched Game 2 of the doubleheader against the Orleans Firebirds. Will Greer will have more on that pitching matchup on the other side of this break. We'll step aside for the first time on the Cotuit Kettleers pregame show, which you're watching on the Cotuit Kettleers Video Network.
Back at Lowell Park on this Tuesday evening. Happy 4th of July to you. Will Greer alongside you on the Cotuit Kettleers pregame show. Starting lineups currently being announced by Lowell Park public address announcer Roy Reese, and that means it's time to take you through our starting pitching matchup tonight. A couple guys that just finished up their freshman seasons at Georgia Southern and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, respectively. We'll go with the Georgia Southern Eagle first. That's Seth Schumann. Seth making his third start of the summer this afternoon for the Kettleers. So far, 3 appearances for Seth, a 6.13 ERA, an 0-1 record, 7 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings pitched, 11 hits, and 3 walks. We last saw Seth a couple nights ago against Wareham in that 11-0 loss here at Lowell Park. Schumann went an inning and struck out the side in that ball game. A much-needed striking out of the side for Schumann because Cotuit was really struggling when he did come into the ball game. In his second start of the summer, as Matt mentioned before the pregame show, not as good as the first for sure for Seth. He went just an inning and a third, gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits at Orleans last Sunday. He also walked 3 batters in that ball game back on June 25th. But start number 1, the Monday prior on June 19th, 5 innings for Schumann, 2 earned runs, 5 hits, and 4 strikeouts, no walks. So we'll see if Seth does have his control today. He did not in his last start, but in his only other 2 appearances, 7 combined strikeouts and 0 combined walks for the righty out of Georgia Southern. Now the righty out of UNC and Monroe Township, New Jersey, Robbie Pito. Robbie just finished up his sophomore season at UNC, and he didn't pitch in that sophomore season. Didn't pitch once for the Tar Heels. In 2 starts this summer for Falmouth, 3 appearances as well for Robbie, a 7.20 ERA, an 0-1 record, and like Schumann, has struggled with his command at times. 10 innings, 8 strikeouts, 8 walks, 9 hits, and last time out for Robbie Pito back on June 25th at YD. He gave up 7 runs, 3 of which were earned in 3 innings, walked 2, and struck out 3. Pito and Schumann have been good before. We'll see if the two can get a pitcher's duel going on this 4th of July afternoon, a Tuesday afternoon from Lowell Park. National anthem about to be sung here in Cotuit, so we'll pause, and on the other side, we'll have our starting lineups as well as first pitch. Game number 20 of the summer upcoming on the Cotuit Kettleers Radio Network. back at beautiful Lowell Park on this Independence Day, 4th of July, Tuesday, July 4th. Ball game just about ready to get going here from Cotuit, Massachusetts. National anthem has just been sung. The players out with the kids down the left side of the infield. The umpires meeting around, and it looks like we're going to start just about on time, if not a few minutes late, here in game number 20. Again, Falmouth coming in 11-8 overall, good for a tie for first in the West Division. Cotuit coming in 10-9 overall, good for third place in the West Division, behind both Bourne and Falmouth. But the Kettleers just one game, 2 points back of both the Braves and the Commodores, coming into game number 20 of the summer. Kids making their way off of the field. And so now it's time to tell you about tonight's starting lineups. We'll begin with the Falmouth Commodores, managed by Jeff Trundy. And the Commodores starting 9 looks like this: Clayton Daniel, Hunter Steinmetz, and Alec Bohm bat 1, 2, and 3. Of course, Bohm hit 2 long home runs, and we were at Gov Fuller Field the other night, and he's coming into this one with the #1 average in the Cape League. Trevor Larnick, Logan Davidson, and Josh Bro batting 4, 5, and 6. Josh Watson, Willie Berger, and Cam O'Neill rounding out the starting 9 for manager Jeff Trundy here in game number 20. Going down, counting them up here, 2 lefties and 2 switch hitters in the starting 9 for Trundy against the righty Schumann. So 5 out of the 9 batters that Seth will face should bat from the right side, barring anything dramatic here in the next couple moments. And that perhaps good news for the righty out of Georgia Southern, trotting out to the mound to make start number 3 of the summer. For Cotuit, the starting 9 looks like this: Griffin Conine, the right fielder, bats first. Chandler Avant, the shortstop, bats second. Brett Kinnaman playing left and batting third. John Cresto doing the DHing for a third consecutive night, bats fourth. Gian Marcellini, the catcher, batting fifth. Thomas Dillard at first for a second straight night, batting sixth tonight. Zach Cohn will bat seventh and play third base. Luke Alexander coming in with a 5-game hitting streak, batting 8th and playing second. And Miles Lewis, the switch-hitting center fielder out of Michigan, will bat 9th for Mike Roberts. Seth Schumann beginning his warm-up tosses, and here to tell you anything else you could possibly want to know before this one gets underway, Matt Rigby.
Pinstripes down the front, Cotuit in block writing in maroon across the chest in rainbow fashion, and then a maroon number below in the left abdomen area. Same on the pants, white with maroon pinstripes. Socks for the players who choose to have them hiked up. Quite a few of them this afternoon for the Kettleers. The only change up from the traditional home uniform for Cotuit, they're wearing their camouflage Cape Cod League hats, which are typically reserved for red shirt Fridays on military appreciation nights. I guess on the 4th of July they are fitting as well. Next for the Commodores, black tops with white piping on both sides down the front. Falmouth in maroon letters across the chest and white piping around that Falmouth. Maroon numbers on the back with white stripes around, and maroon letters with white stripes around in the left abdomen area as well for the Commodores. Gray for the Commodores, maroon stripe down the sides, and stirrups with maroon and white for the players who choose to have their pants hiked up this afternoon. We'll go ahead and give you the umpiring lineup tonight as well. Pat Sparky Burns has balls and strikes on this 4th of July. Mike Rabideau has first base, and Tom Carey across the diamond at third. Defense behind Seth Schumann, Kinnaman, Lewis, Conine left to right in the outfield. The corners are Cohn and Dillard, third and first respectively. Double play combination, Avant and Alexander at short and second respectively. And the battery is Seth Schumann and Gian Martellini. Warm-up tosses are complete for Schumann. He wears number 39. He fixes his pants, grabs his glove, toes the first base side of the rubber, and allows Clayton Daniel, the leadoff hitter for Falmouth, to step into the right-handed hitter's batter's box. Pat Sparky Burns gives the okay. Schumann stares in for the sign from Martellini. He has that sign. The windup. 1. Clayton Daniel enters tonight's game 9 for his last 27, 333 clip right on the button over the last 7 days for Daniel. 2 doubles and 3 walks in that span. And he watches the 0-1. Good breaking ball from Schumann. Catch the knees and right down the middle at 77 miles an hour, and it's 0-2. Daniel, a 368 hitter on the year overall. Home run, 10 RBIs, and 6 doubles. He also has 5 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 5 steals. Puts the ball in play. The 0-2 And he fists it foul towards the right side, out of play. It's 0-2 once more. Steinmetz the righty, or excuse me, Daniel the righty, Steinmetz the lefty, and Bohm the righty, the three scheduled hitters for Falmouth in the bottom of the first. Daniel short in stature, slightly open stance from the right side. Has an extreme crouch to his batting stance. Watches the 0-2 pitch, miss up and in. Appeal down to first. Mike Rabideau says that Daniel did not swing the bat in his attempt to avoid that Seth Schumann fastball. And so the count goes to 1-2. Clayton Daniel out of Jacksonville State, playing second base tonight. Awaits the 1-2 from Schumann, the kick and the delivery, and Daniel again spoils it foul. A little bit further behind the plate this time as he stays alive. This season at Jacksonville State, Daniel hit .328. No home runs, 30 RBIs, 21 walks, and 20 strikeouts. So as has been illustrated so far on the Cape this year as well, he's a tough guy to punch out. The 1-2 pitch, he swings and again spoils it foul as the count remains 1-2. 92 on that up and away fastball from Seth Schumann. And that pitch was already the sixth of the at-bat, with 3 of them resulting in Clayton Daniel foul balls. Schumann stares in, gets the sign. The kick. Fastball misses upstairs, 2 balls and 2 strikes. In 2016, during his sophomore year at Jacksonville State, Clayton Daniel was even better than he was in his recently completed junior campaign. He hit .372 his sophomore year with a .443 on-base percentage. Only struck out 13 times that year. Time is called as he steps out and now quickly comes back in. Schumann with the 8th pitch of the game's opening at-bat. The 2-2 swung and rifled to straight. Looking at and he makes the catch. And hard working out number 1. Will and I were here all afternoon watching Average Joes take cuts in the batting cage here at Lowell Park in a hitting contest. A hitting contest that probably saw Mike Roberts throw, I don't know, somewhere around 300 batting practice pitches, and yet only one of them left the yard. However, Will, I think you and I each made the observation that the air is very, very warm here this afternoon in Cotuit, and balls could very easily jump out of this park all night long. That one almost did for Daniel. First pitch to Steinmetz, he bunts, pops Schumann, the ball, and Hunter Steinmetz will be safe at first. Nobody called. It looked like it was Martellini's ball all the way, but then Seth Schumann, the front end of the battery, came in crashing at the last second. Martellini lost focus just a bit, it looked like. And because the ball landed in fair territory, Hunter Steinmetz is safe.
Really strange play that time. You don't often see bunts popped up where Hunter Steinmetz just popped up that time, and it is a really tough area for 3 infielders to converge that time, and you don't really have enough time to call it because it's not in the air that long. Just a really weird play all around.
So that Bohm hit 2 home runs a couple nights ago, as I'm sure every Kettleer fan would like. He accounted for 4 runs driven in, and Cotuit's 6-3 loss in Falmouth, as the first pitch to Bohm is an 88-mile-an-hour fastball on the outer black for strike 1. Bohm picked up home runs number 2 and 3 on the year. He then went 5 for 6 the next night against Bourne, but went 0 for 4 last night. Overall, his last 7 games, he's 13 for 28 with those 2 home runs and 8 driven in. Throw over, and Steinmetz dives back in safely at first base. Alec Bohm is the leading hitter in the Cape League entering play tonight, and it's not even particularly close. He has the best batting average in the Cape League by 41 whole points. Comes into play tonight a .434 hitter. He's also tied for 3rd in home runs, tied for 3rd in RBIs, and tied for the most doubles. Another throw over, and Steinmetz again dives back in. No surprise to see Seth Schumann paying close attention to Hunter Steinmetz. He's the last guy that you want to have reach via an error along the infield, because Steinmetz leads the Cape League in stolen bases, and he's been very efficient so far this year at 10 for 11 swiping bags. Falmouth as a team is very efficient stealing bases, 27 for 32 on the year. The 0-1 pitch, Steinmetz not running, it misses up and away, at 89 miles an hour for ball one. Those 27 steals for the Commodores tie them with Cotuit for second most overall stolen bases in the league entering play tonight. Kettleers have been caught 11 times, though, in contrast to just the 5 times that Falmouth has been swiped. Another throw over. Steinmetz scampers back in without a slide. As Seth Schumann continues to pay close attention. I believe that was the 4th throw over already in this Alec Bohm at bat. The tough part about having Steinmetz hit in front of Bohm if you're an opposing pitcher against the Falmouth lineup is that if Steinmetz gets on, you obviously have to pay attention to him. But you don't want to lose focus on such a dangerous hitter at the plate. Schumann from the stretch stares in and another throw over. And again, Steinmetz traipses back towards the first base bag in time. Now time is called, and Martellini's going to come out to the mound for a chat with Seth Schumann.
You make a great point, Matt, and it is such a fine line to walk right now if you're Seth Schumann. Because, as you mentioned, Steinmetz 10 for 11 on the base paths. You have got to keep an eye on him, but you're certainly more susceptible to grooving a fastball into Bohm if you don't pay all your attention to Alec Bohm.
Quick conference is over between Martellini and Schumann. Schumann still staring in towards Steinmetz. Now comes back to the plate. The kick in the 1-1 on the outside black for strike 2. Borderline pitch there, had the belt, but also the outside black, says Pat Sparky Burns. And Seth Schumann, after taking a while to deliver that 1-1 because of a few throws over to first to check on Steinmetz, delivers a good fastball to get ahead in the count. Infield at double. Schumann comes set. The 1-2, and Bohm gets just a piece, fouling it back behind the plate to stay alive. Infield being at double play is certainly noteworthy with Alex Bohm in the batter's box. Entering play tonight, he had hit into 5 double plays so far this year, or this summer rather, and that was tied for the most in the Cape League. Schumann would love a ground ball here. He'd also take a strikeout. The kick in the 1-2 pitch, just off the outside corner at 90 miles an hour, and it's 2-2. Pitch looked like it was in the same spot. Schumann got the call there, but did not get the call on the 1-2, and now the count is even. Steinmetz again at first. He reached via an error on Martellini. Schumann with a hard-working top of the first already. The kick in the 2-2. Bohm again spoils it foul towards the right side, and he stays alive. 15 pitches deep in this top of the first now is Seth Schumann. And Falmouth hitters have already fouled off 5 of his deliveries. You mix in the 7 or so throws over to first base, you start to realize that Seth Schumann has already been out on the mound for 10 minutes. He's acquired just 1 out in those 10 minutes, but still has a chance to escape trouble. Checks on Steinmetz, now from the stretch the 2-2, and again Alex Bohm fires it across, or fouls across off the screen, and the count remains the same. American flag-themed banners draping the outfield fence here at Lowell Park. One to the right of the right field foul pole, one to the left of the left field foul pole, and then 4 more across the gaps. The 2-2, Steinmetz blows. Bohm again fouls it towards the right side, fading fast and out of play into the trees. So Seth Schumann searching and searching for an out pitch here in the top of the first. He's tried the outside corner to Bohm with a fastball multiple times. Now we'll see if he tries to mix in a breaking ball or even a changeup, as Bohm seems to be close to on that fastball. Big hole on the right side for Bohm if he wants to continue to go the other way. Right now he's just been fouling off pitches from Schumann. The kick in another 2-2, and Bohm does go the other way, lifts it to straightaway right. Steinmetz bluffs towards second as he tagged up appropriately. It's a and there are 2 away now with still 1 on for Trevor Larnick.
Bohm getting high fives in the Falmouth dugout because, one, that was a really nice at-bat worked, and two, he just missed a home run. Fortunately, the park big enough to hold it as Conine was truly out to the warning track to glove that ball.
It was a 9-pitch at-bat for Alec Bohm. After Clayton Daniel led off the game with an 8-pitch at-bat, the only reason Hunter Steinmetz saw just 1 pitch is because he was bunting. Seth Schumann's had to work hard for his first 2 outs is the moral of the story. Here's another dangerous hitter now, Trevor Larnach. Larnach swings at the first pitch, knocks it right back to the bottom. It'll squirt into center field for a base hit. Steinmetz running on contact, rounds second and goes to third. It's a 2-out single for Trevor Larnach. He's now 8 for 16 to start his summer. And the Commodores have runners on the corners with 2 outs for Logan Davidson.
You start to see why this Falmouth lineup is so dangerous. You spent, if you're Seth Schumann, so much time and energy just getting that deep fly out off the bat of Bohm, and then you face a guy like Larnach who is coming up swinging. If you groove a fastball into him, he's going to make contact and probably going to get on base. It's just a relentless attack, Matt. 1 through 9, it really is.
This is a lineup that doesn't even have Marty Bacchina in it tonight, who's the Cape League's leader in home runs and RBIs. Day off for Bacchina. Also a day off for Adley Rutschman and George Yancha, who we saw in the lineup a few nights ago. First pitch to Logan Davidson, the bat. Now is a strike on the inside corner at the knees, and it's 0-1. Davidson, certainly the guy that Schumann would like up here if he continues, or if he would like to continue this inning scoreless or finish off this inning scoreless. Davidson has not hit very well so far this summer. Just a .211 hitter through his first 19 games. The 0-1, big swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Down and in breaking ball there from Schumann. And Davidson's been very cold of late as well. He's just 2 for his last 13 with 4 strikeouts in that span. He's got 16 strikeouts overall this season, which is top 10 in the Cape League. Davidson just finished his freshman season at Clemson, the switch hitter from the left side. In an 0-2 hole, runners on the corners, the kick and the pitch, and Davidson had a 78-mile-an-hour breaking ball from Seth Schumann. Seth Schumann with a very top of the first somehow escapes it unscathed. Falmouth does not score. They get a hit, an error, no walks, and they leave 2. We'll move to the home half of the first on this Independence Day from Lowell Park. Still no score, with the Kettleers coming to bat on the Cotuit Kettleers Video Network. After about a 15-minute top in which Falmouth threatened but did not score here on this Independence Day from Lowell Park, we move to the number 1 as the Kettleers come to bat for the first time against Robbie Pito. Pito, the righty out of North Carolina, making the start for the Commodores tonight. As Will mentioned in the pregame show, Pito has not or did not pitch this season for the Tar Heels. as it was a very deep Tar Heels rotation. They were the number 2 seed overall in the NCAA tournament, were the North Carolina Tar Heels. Pito struggled to crack that rotation, but he has good stuff, and that's why he's up here this summer. Griffin Conine will lead things off for the Kettleers. Chandler Avant bats second, and Brett Kinnaman third against the righty Pito. 2 lefties in Conine and Kinnaman, and 1 righty in Avant. Conine digs in from the left side. The kick in the first pitch from Pito. Conine swings, lifts it towards the left side in foul ground, fading fast, everyone over, but nobody has a play as it drops in foul territory for strike 1. Watson, the left fielder for Falmouth, Davidson, the shortstop, and Bohm, the third baseman, all gave chase, but it landed in that Bermuda Triangle into no man's land up the left field line. And so Griffin Conine lives to see at least another pitch. To give us a chance to introduce the rest of the Falmouth defense. Already talked about Watson in left, Steinmetz is in center, Larnick in right, Bowman Davidson left side of the infield, Daniel Berger right side of the infield, and Bro catching Pito. The 0-1 to Conine, breaking ball misses low for ball 1. Robbie Pito, 3-pitch mix, we are told. Fastball that can sit in the mid-90s. 1-1, there's that fastball, misses up and in for ball 2. He also features an 11-5 curveball. That comes in at about 77 to 79 miles an hour. And he has a changeup as well, but it's the circle change variety. 2-1 to Conine. That misses down and in at 89, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Pito was drafted out of high school. Went to Monroe High in New Jersey, 30th round pick by the Anaheim Angels. 3-1 pitch on the inside corner for strike 2, and the count goes full. His family has New Jersey baseball ties through and through. His grandfather Walt played at Seton Hall. The payoff pitch to Conine is rifled down the right field line, hooking fast and foul, as that one had home run distance, but Conine was too far out in front. And Robbie's father, Mike, played at Rutgers. Robbie chose to get out of the Garden State, I guess, and head down south. The kick and another pillar. Conine, he watches it miss down and away. So Conine, as he works a patient at bat. And the Kettleers have a leadoff base runner for Chandler Avant. Avant enters play tonight, a .244 hitter overall this summer. .304 on base percentage. And Avant last night in Wareham went 0 for 4 with a walk. Pito comes set, working from the stretch for the first time. The kick and the fastball catches the knees right down the middle to Avant at 92. It's 0-1. Pito comes set at the belt again. Kicks and fires the 0-1. Breaking ball that misses outside to Avant, 78 miles an hour. And the count goes to 1-1. Kettleers really on all night last night. Mentioned it in the pregame show, but they went 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position. Obviously, Conine not in scoring position yet. But whether it's men on or just runners in scoring position, those numbers tend to mirror each other as the 1-1 pitch misses up and into Avant. And it's 2-1. Overall this season, Cotuit's been very good with runners in scoring position. And the 2-1 is grounded towards short. Up with it, Davidson. Nope, it pops out of his glove. And everybody sits. Not to pop. Is. Davidson so far this year at Clemson committed 22 errors. He and Zach Cohn were the most error-prone players in the entire Atlantic Coast Conference. And earlier this season, Logan Davidson committed some errors as well, as that gives him now 8 in this young summer season, which is the most so far in the Cape League. So an E4 allows Avant to reach, E6 rather allows Avant to reach. It allows Conine to move up to second. And it puts 2 on with nobody out for Brett Kinnaman as the first pitch misses up and away to Kinnaman for ball 1. Kinnaman hitting in the 3-hole in a rare occurrence tonight for Mike Roberts. A .281 hitter on the season now is Brett. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball misses up and away for ball 2. Kinnaman continues to post a very impressive on-base percentage at .417. That's still top 10 in the Cape League, as he continues to draw quite a few walks. 2-0 pitch. Kinnaman swings and rifles it foul back behind home plate to run the count to 2-1. Last night, Brett went 2 for 4. Received what we deemed to be a little bit of a fortunate scoring decision in his last at-bat. Initially told you that he was 1 for 4 because I thought that his final ball put into play had been ruled an error. We don't have errors on the scoreboard at Spillane Field, so we were uncertain of the exact ruling, as the 2-1 is a fastball that Kinnaman swings over the top of to run the count to 2-2. Check the box score before the game, though, Will, and Kinnaman was awarded a single in that final at-bat. So 2 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 strikeouts. The kick in the 2-2 to Kinnaman. Breaking ball floats up and away as Bro has to pop out of his crouch to receive it from Pito, and the count runs full. Kinnaman continues to walk at a high clip and strike out at a high clip. Enters play tonight still top 5 in the Cape League in each of those categories. He's in a count here that could go either way. It's full, and the kick and the payoff pitch swung and popped up in the infield. Infield fly rule invoked. Looking for it, the second baseman Daniel. He does glove it with the bat anyway for out number 1.
Looks like Brett got a low fastball that time. I don't know if it would have been ball 4. Obviously, Brett so far has had the best eye of any Kettleer, so you trust when he's swinging at a 3-2 pitch, but that pitch too close to not swing at, I think, from Pito. And unfortunately for Cotuit, Kinnaman, the best walker on the team, not able to get a walk against the walk-prone Robbie Pito.
So that'll bring up John Cresto. Cresto working on a quiet 8-game hitting streak. And he's cut down on the strikeouts the last few nights after being benched a few games ago by Mike Roberts. First pitch breaking ball misses upstairs to Cresto, 1-0. Over his last 3 games, I think you told me, Will, Cresto has struck out just 2 total times. John has 2 on with 1 out here. The kick in the 1-0 pitch misses up and away for ball 2. John still has 25 strikeouts on the year, which is still most in the Cape League. But he's looked much, much better at the plate the last few nights. But good swings on hung breaking balls. He's got a couple home runs in that span, as well as a couple doubles. The 2-0 pitch, fastball right down the middle for a strike, and it's 2-1. Cresto now a .333 hitter on the year entering play tonight. Continues to boast a good slugging percentage at .576. That .333 average, still top 20 in the Cape League. The 2-1 from Pito, and Cresto watches it miss low and away for ball 3. John still tied for 3rd in the Cape League in RBIs as well entering play tonight. He has 15 of those. The man he's tied with, Alec Boehm for Falmouth. He's got a chance to cash in a runner here. Conine at 2nd. He also has Avant on at 1st. He's also got a hitter's count working in his favor at 3 balls and 1 strike. Pito from the stretch, checks on Conine. Now the kick in the 3-1. Fastball swing and a miss on a high heater from Cresto, or to Cresto, as the count goes full for a 2nd straight batter. We'll mention that Pito is walk prone. He's walked 8 batters in just 10 innings entering tonight's start this summer. Another payoff pitch, and that misses low and away for ball 4. Make it now 2 walks in 1 inning Not even yet so far for Robbie Pito. Just a third of an inning and 2 walks tonight. So now he has 10 1/3 innings under his belt this summer and 10 walks to his name. And the 2 walks in this inning have loaded the bases with just 1 out for Gian Martellini.
And all that conspires to, Matt, is perhaps a grooved pitch into Gian right here. If Robbie Pito can even find the control to groove a pitch to Gian. But you'd think that Gian going to get something pretty meaty to hit with the bases loaded and just 1 out.
Gian had the night off last night, but he has 8 RBIs in his last 3 games played. He takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike at 81 miles an hour, and it's 0-1. Robbie Pito probably thinking along with you there, Will. Chose not to groove the fastball to Gian Martellini and went with a first pitch breaking ball instead. Pito working quickly, the kick in the 0-1. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner at the knees. 92 miles an hour to Martellini. And it's 0-2. Gian now a .283 hitter on the season entering tonight's game. And with those aforementioned 8 RBIs, he now has 12 on the season. 0-2 pitch misses upstairs at 91 miles an hour, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good speed at every base. Conine at first, Avant at second, and Conine at third, Avant at second, and Cresto at first. The kick in the 1-2, big swing and a miss by Martellini. He's down on strikes. He can't come through with the bases loaded, and there are now 2 away, with the bases still juiced for Thomas Dillard. Dillard in the lineup tonight playing first base for the 2nd straight game. Came on to play first a couple nights ago when the Kettleers beat Hyannis 11-8 here at Lowell Park. And he did that for the game's final inning. First pitch to Dillard. Breaking ball that misses upstairs, 1-0. John Cresto committed 3 errors in that 11-8 victory for Cotuit at first base in his first 8 innings at the position this summer. And so Dillard came in for the 9th and hasn't looked back since. The 1-0. Breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. With Michael Tolia still out for the Kettleers, if Dillard can continue to play a good first base, and if he can start to swing the stick a little better, he might find himself in the everyday lineup. The 1-1 swings and lines it to straightaway center. That might hang up. No, it won't. Hunter Steinmetz rather, comes in and picks it out of the air for out number 3. Kettleers ultimately do not score. No hits in the inning. A pair of walks and an error loaded the bases, but Cotuit leaves them loaded as we head to the 2nd, with the score still tied at 0 on this 4th of July from Lowell Park on the Cotuit Kettleers Video Network. From across the great United States of America on this Tuesday afternoon. No score between Cotuit and Falmouth after 1 inning of play. Both teams threatened in their respective first innings, but neither one eventually pushed a run across. And so Seth Schumann climbs back onto the mound for the top of the second and fires a first pitch fastball down and in for ball one to Josh Breaux. Breaux, Watson, and Willie Berger, the three do up for the Commodores here in this top of the second. 6, 7, and 8. The 1-0 pitch to Breaux. Swings and grounds it towards the third. He's going to dip for second, and he's going to reach second with a stand-up lead-off.
Breaux, a guy out of community college from Waco, Texas at McLennan Community College. He really started out this summer slowly, but the last couple nights he's really come on. Had a pretty good night against Cotuit the other night, and then 2 nights ago at Bourne he had a 2-run home run. So you wonder if he's just starting to get acclimated to this type of pitching and the Cape League. And the last couple nights he's really come around. Could be an important bat for Jeff Trundy down the stretch.
He entered that game against the Kettleers a few nights ago at Arnie Allen Diamond, just 4 for his first 19 as a Commodore. He did pick up an RBI single, as you mentioned in that game, Will, and has hit pretty well ever since. First pitch to Jeff, a breaking ball that misses up and away for ball one. Watson playing in his first game of the summer for the Commodores. Switch hitting outfielder from Texas Christian University, more commonly referred to as TCU. As Schumann kicks and fires the 1-0. Another breaking ball. It was a good one, but it misses just low for ball two. Watson, a switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty Schumann. And before this 2-0 pitch, Mike Roberts pops out of the dugout because he wants a chat with his pitcher and his entire infield. Watson is from Arlington, Texas. Stands 5'11", 195 pounds. Just finished up his sophomore season for TCU, a TCU team that made it all the way to Omaha. And the Juniors Watson hit .239 this season for the Frogs in 230 at-bats. Had only 1 home run, 38 RBIs, and a .370 on-base percentage. Coming out to break up the conference on the mound now is the home plate umpire, Pat Sparky Burns. He doesn't quite reach the top of the hill, and Mike Roberts does his job for him. As Roberts, with a little bit of pep in his step, scampers back to the home dugout, and everyone else resumes their position along the infield.
Pat Sparky Burns with a pep in his step as well. Pat sprinted back to home plate that time. He beat Gian Martellini back to the plate. Wonder if they had a little race going on. Pat had a little smile on his face. Working off some pounds before the big cookout tonight, I suppose.
The 2 fastball for a strike at the knees, and it's 2-1. Mike Roberts worked off enough pounds throwing those 300 batting practice pitches today. Not that he has many to work off anyway. Schumann comes set. Checks on Breaux at second. Now from the belt, the 2-1. Another good fastball and another strike from Seth Schumann at the knees, as it's 2-2. Schumann keeping the ball low to Jeff Watson here. And not giving the switch hitter anything to drop in his first Cape League at bat. Willie Schumann comes set at the letters. The kick and the 2-2. Breaking ball misses down and in at 77 miles an hour, and the count goes full. Watson, part of a TCU team that went 50-18 during the regular season this year. They were preseason #1 overall in the country. And while they slipped a little bit through March and early April, they salvaged their season quite nicely. And as I mentioned, made that College World Series run. Schumann comes set. Another pillar. Misses down and in for ball. Schumann went to the fastball that wasn't particularly close, however, and the first walk of the game issued by the Georgia Southern righty will bring Willie Berger to the plate with 2 on and nobody out. Berger in his second season for the Commodores out of Penn State. Had a pretty good season from a power standpoint last year for Falmouth, but has struggled out of the gate so far this summer. as he's hitting just 196 entering play tonight. First pitch, he bluffs the bunt, pulls the bat back, and watches a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Schumann that misses outside. I believe that's the hardest pitch we've seen Seth Schumann throw so far tonight. Berger overall this year, 10 for his first 51 at the plate. Just 1 home run and 6 RBI. The 1-0 pitch to Berger. Another fastball and another miss. Again, just low from Schumann at 89 miles an hour, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Berger's been cold as well entering tonight. He's just 3 for his last 17. Did have his lone home run in that span. But moral of the story, if you're Seth Schumann, this is a guy that you should be able to go right after when you're in a jam. 2 on, nobody out, no score. Top of the second, the 2-0 to Berger. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Thomas Dillard playing in at first base just a bit, and playing in front of the runner at first, Josh Watson. Cone playing in at the opposite corner as well, middle infield at double play depth. Lewis playing his typical shallow center field, other outfielders straight up. The 2-1, swinging a ground ball.
What a play from Zach Cone. That ground ball kind of took Zach to his right, close to the third base bag. He kind of semi-dove, gloved the ball, and then knew exactly where he was going to third and fired a strike across the diamond to Dillard at first to get the not-so-fleet-of-foot Willie Berger at first base.
Moving up to second on the play is Josh Watson. But Seth Schumann gets a big pair of first outs. And now brings up Cam O'Neill. Schumann from the belt, the kick on the first pitch to O'Neill. Misses low for ball 1. O'Neill, a .257 hitter entering play tonight. Designated hitter tonight from the right side out of Holy Cross. Just 9 for 35 to start his Commodore career, and he's very strikeout prone. As 14 of those 26 outs have come by way of strikeout. He's 2 for his last 12 with 6 punch outs. The 1-0, swung on and lifted, straight away right by O'Neill. Conine galloping over to his right, now sets his feet, reaches up, and makes the catch to retire the side. Seth Schumann into and out of trouble for a second straight inning. Falmouth does not score despite putting the first 2 men of the inning on. There was 1 hit, 1 walk, a double play, no errors, and 1 runner left. We'll move to the home half of the second. Still no score between Cotuit and Falmouth on Independence Day from Lowell Park on the Cotuit Kettleers Video Network.